Hello, folks. Welcome again to the Third and 10 podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined by my guy, Brian Germanaro. We hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for stopping by as we continue our division preview series. So far, we've covered the AFC East and the AFC North. If you haven't watched those episodes already, you can find the links in the episode description and also under the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. But we are excited to continue this and go to the AFC South this week, which consists of the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Tennessee Titans. But before we get started today, Brian, good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I got a quick message for everyone. So the MLB trade deadline was, of course, about a week ago at this point.
Correct.
And a lot of people are prospect huggers, prospect lovers, loved all the moving and shaking and stuff like that. I just want a quick message to those people about why that isn't always the best idea, because Clinton Frazier is starting a podcast. Now, if you're not familiar with who Clint Frazier is, he was a very big prospect back in 2016 when the New York Yankees acquired him. And there was a report at one point that Clint Frazier was going to be the next Mike Trout. That's not a joke. I swear to God, there's a tweet from John Heyman saying that Clint Frazier is the next Mike Trout. And I remember in high school staying up at night when, like, oh my God, Clint Frazier is going to haunt my dreams for the next 15 years as him, Gleyber Torres, Gary Sanchez, and Blake Rutherford create the new core four for the New York Yankees. Now, none of those guys ended up working. I guess Clint Frazier worked out a little. Not Clint Frazier. Gleyber Torres worked out to some extent, and then Gary Sanchez is still in the league. But Frazier and Rutherford did not last long in MLB. So to say that these prospects are, the next best thing in the world, not always true. As Clint Frazier is starting a podcast, which I can't wait to listen to, because I think he's going to give some good stuff.
Okay. So, but was he good at all in his career?
Well, he was great in the minors. In the minors, he's unbelievable. He just hit the major leagues and just never put together. That concussion problems and stuff. So,
up like getting hit by the pitch type concussion.
I forgot how, but he had a long concussion.
Because I'm thinking, like, how do you get a concussion in baseball? That's like the only way, is just getting hit in the head with the ball.
Make it run into the wall.
True. Oh, yeah. Good point. Well, if he did that, then
somebody,
it's like, yeah, true.
Hit the ground too hard, head bounces. Yeah.
Yeesh. No, thank you. But yeah, we'll see. I might take a listen as well and see what's it about.
I want to see what it's talked about, because he's been pretty active on Twitter the past few days, and he's been pretty funny over there. So let's see what he's got personality wise. Let's get him on as a guest.
Oh man, if we did that, well, we'd be cooking. I tell you, you'd be leading that that episode for sure. When it comes to
Clint, you were the next Mike Trout. What happened?
You're gonna get him kicked. You're gonna have him leave the podcast within 5 minutes of him joining. I'm telling you. As soon as we start recording, you ask him that question, I swear he's gonna leave.
Yeah, no, you can't ask that kind of question.
No.
I could ask him, were you aware that you were compared to Mike Trout at one point?
There you go. And that's a fair question.
You know that John Heyman, the guy that also said Arson Judge, called you Mike Trout?
Yes.
Mike Trout 2.0?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I remember the Arson Judge situation.
Arson Judge is unbelievable. It's still unbelievable. It's a 1-1.
Giants fans were just so excited that day. I was like, dang, bro, the Giants actually they have a superstar player now. And
I was more shocked of that. This is not this thing about it, because this was. Could you imagine in back-to-back off seasons they lost Aaron Judge, then traded for Juan Soto, and then lost Juan Soto? Oh my God,
dude, they'd be in shambles. Well, granted,
they already are in shambles.
Yeah, but they'd be even more shambles. Shoot, man. Yeah, but hey, the Yanks are looking at the Mets on the other side, and the Mets are doing just fine.
Not fine.
That's why we're not talking about them today. It is just in all seriousness, it is for division purposes previews. Moving forward, we're only going to cover division previews, so just the divisions, and then we'll save any other NFL talk and any Mets talk for Thursday's show. So that's why we won't be discussing the Mets today. But it's probably for a good reason, to give Brian a little rest in regards to his boys, and as we just saw or just heard, his satisfaction with his team is not that great right now anyway. So it's best if we
No, and you know what? I may be going to the game tomorrow, so I'm just a
there
moron.
you go. See, there you go. We go to the game tomorrow. That way on Thursday we can talk about it, and you'll be in better spirits. Um, but I mean, I'm just real quick in the standings. You guys are 2 games back at the Phillies.
Game and a half.
Game and a half. See, I'm not even in the baseball mood today because I'm just excited to talk football. So without further ado, let's get into it with the AFC South. So the Houston Texans, who were first place in the division last year with a 10-7 record. Look, I mean, think about last year. Expectations are kind of quite high for this team.
This was a team that was expected to take that next step and kind of compete with the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens. Kind of take that next level, that upper echelon level.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Because let's go. CJ Stroud was like really good. They began the year 5-1. Like everything kind of looked like they're gonna have like an historic season, and then they kind of fell off a little bit. They went 1-3. We saw those injuries occurred as Stephon Diggs and then Tank Dell later in the year. But then they kind of bounced back towards the end of the year, and then I think they finished 4-3 towards the late stretch, and then they made the playoffs with a 10-7 record. Of course, winning the division, they beat the Chargers, which is fantastic, but they ran into the Chiefs, and that's when
can't blame them there.
Nope, can't blame them at all whatsoever. So 10-3, not bad. I will say though, that when it comes to like the divisional playoffs, it's just they can't do it. I don't know what it is, but every time they're in the divisional round, they just don't win. I was looking at the stats yesterday. 0-6 in the divisional round all
That's
time. Yeah, it is no bueno. But hey, it was just overall, despite making the playoffs, it was clear things weren't the same like they were in 23.
No, something felt off from the beginning. Whether it was like you look at Stroud's numbers and they weren't bad, but if you watched every single game, you could tell that there was a sophomore slump, an adjustment period. Something was just off in his rhythm that he couldn't get on the field.
Yeah, whether it's just injuries to his receivers or just the offensive line not being able to protect him, that's going to be a big topic for us that we're going to discuss later on here and for the Texans segment. But looking at the stats, he threw for over 3,700 yards, which was fine. But I think it was below what he threw last. I
think all his stats regressed a little bit.
Yeah. The passer range just digressed from 100 to 87. He threw 12 interceptions versus 20 touchdowns. Like that's not the numbers like he put up in 23. The O-line though, 38 sacks allowed. So that's a lot. It was just not a good unit whatsoever. Yeah, we talked about the Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell injuries. Nico Collins was hurt for a certain amount of time, but he was relatively healthy, and he still managed to get over 1,000 yards in 12 games. So that's still impressive. I will say if there was one positive, it was on the defense because they were 6 in total defense. They had a great secondary. Derek Stinling was great, had 5 interceptions, 18 pass deflections. He's a guy that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to being one of the best corners in the game. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Will Anderson had 11 sacks. Defensively, they were fine. It was just the offense that just was not as good as it was in 23, and they were like below average in most offensive stats. So, but it's all good because this offseason they made some improvements this offseason, but it did get off to a rough start as well. They traded Laremy Tunsil, which everyone was just shocked to see. They traded him in a 4th-round pick to the Commanders in exchange for a 3rd rounder and a 7th rounder in 25 and a 2nd and a 4th in 26. So it was a haul for the left tackle, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who was playing extremely well after his time in Miami, came to Houston and was doing pretty good. So that kind of led to big questions like, what is Houston doing? Because the line was already bad last year, and you're trading your best left tackle. Now your unit looks worse. or so we
Fair
thought.
point.
Yeah, or so we thought. They added Cam Robinson in free agency, Trent Brown, Laken Tomlinson, Ed Ingram, Robinson and Brown are tackles. Tomlin, no, Robinson and Brown are tackles. Tomlinson and Ingram are guards. They also added Christian Kirk at wide receiver via trade. They added C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They extended Derek Stingley on a 3-year deal, and then they signed Nick Chubb later on in the offseason as well. And then the draft consists of Jaden Higgins as a receiver from Iowa State. They did draft a tackle. His name is Ariante Ursiri from Minnesota. They also added another receiver in round 3, Jalen Noel from Iowa State, cornerback Jalen Smith from USC, Woody Marks, a running back also from USC, Jalen Reed, a safety from Penn State, Graham Mertz, a quarterback from Florida, and with their last pick in round 7, they fit to tackle Keontae Hamilton from Rutgers. So that was their draft. Love the receivers, by the way, Higgins and Noel. Very excited to see them. But the question that I want to kind of discuss for the Houston Texans, my friend, is, I guess, are people overreacting to the offensive line not being good enough for 25? Because I kind of feel like
No, they're not. They're not. This was a bad offensive line last year, and you got rid of arguably 2 of your better offensive linemen, Laramie Tunsil and Shaq Mason. All right, those are kind of 2, staples. Tunsil, I don't care how much money he's paid. That is your left tackle. That guy protects C.J. Stroud and protects him good enough. Shaq Mason is a similar thing. So you replace them, and then you didn't really get another marquee name like Cam Robinson's and Lincoln Tomlinson's and Blake Fisher, who they're promoting the right tackle. I liked him at Notre Dame, but he's a 3rd-round pick. Is he really? He's not going to be able to fill that hole. So I think this Texans offensive line is in real big trouble this year, and C.J. Stroud's to be running for his life a lot. It's the one thing that can prevent this team, because I really like this offense. All right, I like what they did at receiver. I know Tank Dell's out, but they got Christian Kirk. They have a great 1-2 punch in Mixon and Chubb, which will take some pressure off of C.J. Stroud's ability to throw. But if you have a bad offensive line, like we've watched for years with the Giants, that offense is going to be stuck in neutral.
If there's any team that knows about bad offensive line, that's us, right, my friend?
Exactly. Yeah, we are well experienced in bad offensive lines, and I could just tell that this is headed for a disaster. You're expecting average players to play above their pay grade, which is not going to work. It's for your offensive linemen.
I feel you. Honestly, I get what you're saying, and Pro Football Focus 100% agrees with you. They have him actually ranked as the worst O-line group heading into 2025. So I was looking at that, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work too well. And then I was looking at it more in depth, and I'm like, okay, Robinson obviously isn't Tunsil. I get that. He's not. He's like a tier lower, or a tier or 2 lower than Larry Tunsil when it comes to left tackle. But he has experience, and I know that doesn't mean everything. It doesn't. Obviously, it does not. But he's, Robinson still had a decent pass blocking grade last year. 70.4 was about average in the league. 49th out of 140 tackles. Now, Larry Tunsil was, had an 88.6, which was 4th among left tackles or offensive tackles last year.
There you go.
There you go. So, but look. You look at the overall grade. Tunsil was 76.1, Robinson 64.7. Yes, it's a good difference between the two, but not like a crazy drop off. So I mean, Robinson's not that bad. Plus, it wasn't like the left tackle position was like their biggest concern. Like, it was like everyone else on the offensive line, and they did address that. Honestly, like I mentioned, they drafted Ursiri, who's a rookie tackle. He's impressed in camp so far.
Right, but we have experience with rookie tackles. They don't play well.
Oh, trust me, we have one. We have to move him to guard. That's how bad he's been.
Yeah. Well, even Andrew Thomas had struggled in his rookie year. We all wax play by Andrew Thomas now, but let's not forget he was a turnstile his first year in the league.
There you go. Yeah, and I mean, and Ursiri's good. I mean, he's impressed, and as of this point, he's not expected to start at right tackle, according to ESPN's depth chart of the Houston Texans. But he is a promising tackle that he will eventually start. But he's a promising guy. I would like to see play. Actually, no, he is starting as we speak, according to the Texans depth chart. So there you go. what's it called? Titus Howard is starting at right guard. Laken Thomason's going to be at left guard. Jake Andrews is going to be the center, most likely for them. But the main point that I got after doing some research is like, I don't know. There's like a different mentality this year. So like last year, right? It was bad. It really was. I mean, their O-line, what's it called? Their offensive coordinator was fired. The O-line coach was fired. They just couldn't protect Stroud, and then they traded away Kenyon Green, who was disappointing. I think a lot of people were like shocked as well when Kenyon Green got traded from Houston to Philadelphia out of all teams.
Yeah, out of all places.
Yeah,
send to Philly. No, stop.
Well,
stop
why
doing
are
that?
Then I think not to go too off topic because I know we're gonna save it for Thursday, but I think the Raiders traded a corner to Philly yesterday, and
Yes, they did.
just mind blown. Like, really, we're gonna help them even more? Like,
there should be a rule, like a non-spoken rule, like if the team wins the Super Bowl, you don't trade with them in the offseason.
Yes, that'd be fantastic because, especially the corner that they got, he's Sicorian Bennett. He's apparently really good. So yeah, more corners for Philly.
Anyways,
great. Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
But yeah, Kenyon Green got traded. They cut Shaq Mason. They traded Laremy Tunsil. Outside of Tunsil, Mason and Green were quite disappointing last year. So, but then the guys they brought in, they just have this nasty mentality to them, and we've actually seen that from Howard. When he was interviewed not too long ago, how they're focusing on being more nasty up front. There's this different mentality they have. They promoted their one of their assistant coaches. His name is Cole Popovich to be the new offensive line coach. This guy has a background for coaching an offensive line that's nasty, can establish the run, be physical in the pass game, and that's the group that they want to be. And let's be honest, like the run game will only help take pressure off CJ Stroud. Like, yes, he was fantastic in year 1, year 2. Yeah, obviously it looked a little bit different for him, but depending on Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb and establishing that run game mentality first will only make things better. And the guys they brought in, especially Robinson, he's a better run blocker than Tunsil at left tackle. So if this nasty mentality is what they want to do, then honestly, I'm all for it. I do think that Pro Football Focus, I know they know more about ball than I do. I'm gonna be straight up when it comes to like those those weird numbers and statistics that they throw out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those numbers don't really tell everything. I do think that this line has a chance to kind of shock some people and be able to protect their quarterback better than last. It can't get any worse than last year. You can only go up from here. I just believe the guys that they brought in are going to be a good fit for this team and just help Stroud be better protected and also have a run game that is top 15 when everything is said and done this season. So I think, yes, people are overreacting a little bit. I think the guys they brought in are great, and we'll see what happens from there. But Houston, honestly, we'll get to record predictions at the end. But yeah, anything else on Houston, my friend, before we move on?
No, that's pretty much it.
All righty, let's get it. Indianapolis Colts. Yes. I was excited for this one.
This team sucks.
Hey, watch your mouth. They have a certain quarterback that made the playoffs.
He sucks.
Well, we'll talk about it.
No. He sucks.
Come on, man. Let's
no, he sucks.
Let's give.
Did you not watch it for 6 years?
I did. But let's give him some hope a little bit.
No, I watched it for 6 years and had hope.
Colts finished 8-9 in 2024, missing the postseason for the 4th consecutive year. Very mid offensively, not as great defensively, if at all. They averaged 22.2 points per game, which is 17th best last year, but they allowed 25.1 points per game, which ranked 24th in the NFL. So that was basically 8th worst. Jonathan Taylor was great. Hey, talk about a guy that doesn't get talked a lot too much. That's one guy right there. Had over 14.
Basically Saquon Barkley and the Giants.
Yeah, he needs maybe. No, they're not gonna trade him away. I think he's there for quite some time. That's their franchise player. 1,400 rushing yards plus last year, 11 touchdowns, made the Pro Bowl. But more importantly, it was their quarterback. that was your story. Anthony Richardson, he was a starter, but struggled early last year, posting a completion rate. For those listening on the Spotify or audio version of this podcast, Brian just tapped his head. So for those, for context, sorry. So one of the stupidest things I've seen in an NFL game, he took himself out because he was tired. And this was like, yeah, that was beyond me.
The quarterback doesn't take themselves out when they're tired.
No, even when they are tired, they wait, they push through. And when they have to get off the field, whether it's a stall drive or whatever, that's when they can rest. But this guy literally took, I think it was like on a third down. I think
it was a very important play.
Yeah, a very important play of the of a drive, and you're gonna, yeah, beyond me. But he was bad. He had a completion rate of like 40 something percent at one point, and he was benched mid-season. Came back later in the year, and he was. He finished the season okay. 1,800 passing yards, a touch. No, you know what? No, I'm sugarcoating it. He was not okay. He had 8 touchdowns and 12 picks. It was terrible. And criticism was strong. Even Pat McAfee on his show called out his former team, whether it's for leadership issues, culture issues. It was all bad for Indianapolis last year. Like 8-9 doesn't seem like it was all bad, but this team was just not that good whatsoever. And they lost a pretty good part of the offensive line, which kind of worries me a little bit. They lost Will Fries. Ryan Kelly, the center, is also gone as well. So it's a tough loss. Oh, it was tough to see those two guys leave, especially, when you think of that Colts team, their identity is a run first team. Let's be honest. They have Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson, who's still one of the best linemen in the game, and then you lose Fries and Kelly, and it's just like, shoot, don't look as good. But maybe things are different. Maybe they turn to more of a passing team, especially with the quarterback that they brought in. Daniel Jones signed to a 1-year, $14 million deal. They also signed a cornerback, Charvarius Ward, to a 3-year deal worth $54 million, and also Cam Bynum was also signed to bolster the safety group. They also hired earlier in the offseason Lou Anarumo as their new defense coordinator. And their draft looked like this: tight end Tyler Warren in the first round, defensive end JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State, cornerback Justin Wally from Minnesota in round 3, Jalen Travis from Iowa State in round 4, DJ Giddens in round 5, Riley Leonard, quarterback from Notre Dame in round 6, Tim Smith, defensive tackle from Alabama, also in round 6, and Hunter Warler, the linebacker / safety from Wisconsin. All right. So the Colts have a bit of a quarterback competition apparently going on, but that's because both quarterbacks.
The word competition.
Hey, apparently it is a competition because even they came in, they don't even know who their quarterback one is.
I don't blame them.
According to reports, the Colts released their first unofficial depth chart of the of training camp, and the QB1 is Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. And I'm not just saying that to say that. It is listed as Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson on the depth chart. If you don't believe me, go check it out. Or it might be updated now after they got called out. But I will see, from what we saw and what you will see on social media if you were to look it up, that's how it looks like. Yeah, or. So that leads us to the question for this team. Is it going to be Daniel Jones, you think, or AR-15, Anthony Richardson, to be exact, at QB1?
Well, I'd rather neither of these guys being my starting quarterback if I'm a Colts fan. But if I had to pick one of them, I would pick Daniel Jones. Look, as much as we give Daniel Jones slack on the show, that's mostly because we watched him for 6 years, just ruin our Sundays. He has had success in the NFL, all right? His rookie season, he showed flashes. He did have 2022, which got him the big contract. This is a guy that has won the league, has playoff experience, can be like that leader in the locker room, was a captain for most of his time with the Giants. And at worst, he's just going to be a game manager. A guy kind of like, he dumps the ball off 5 yards, kind of hits, Pittman and Downs and Tyler Ward and Jonathan Taylor. So there is a good enough offense around him where he just needs to do the bare minimum to put the Colts in a chance to win. Richardson has shown flashes of being like this star quarterback, but it's never like for a whole game. It's always like one drive here, one play here, one play there. And in every game, he's either coming out because he's injured because he can't protect himself. He's taking himself out because he's tired. He just doesn't have that like killer instinct that you want from your starting quarterback. I don't think Daniel Jones has that either, but at least Daniel Jones has some success and can be, all right, you know what? This is a vet that's been in the league for a while. I'm going to listen to him. So I have to lean Daniel Jones, but I'm telling you, Riley Leonard is going to start a game at some point this year, right? Because Jones and Richardson are both going to disappoint.
And when he does start, Leonard, I know you'll be excited. And
I'll be excited. I don't expect much because I don't know in that situation. They're kind of rushing him, but I'll be excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, when it does happen, we will cover that game.
Yeah.
Or
you see, Joe Montana gave him a signed jersey from Fanatics.
Look at that.
Yeah, I gave him a signed jersey and like a little. Fanatics did this whole thing with rookies where they gave him like signed jerseys and stuff and like a little message. Like Eli did Jackson Dart, Will Howard, and another quarterback for some reason. All right, I get Dart. I'm not really getting Will Howard. That one I'm not getting.
Yeah,
but like
maybe
Riley Leonard makes sense because like, oh, okay, Joe Montana, both Notre Dame guys, perfect.
Yeah, maybe Howard was like the Manning. He went to the Manning Academy. I don't know.
No, maybe. Yeah, I forgot about the Manning. I always forget about the Manning Academy.
Yeah.
Well, like half the league would be then.
Yeah, true. I mean,
if you go to the Manning Passing Academy, you're going to the NFL. Like
you're gonna find a future star there.
You gotta be special to get there.
No doubt. They don't accept just nobodies. You gotta be somebody.
Your local high school, quarterback is not going to the Manning Passing Academy.
4 or 5-star recruit. Those are guys that are going to this academy, man.
My high school has probably 1,000 people I go to, or like 2,000. That no one from that school is going to the Manning Passing Academy.
But to piggyback off of let's be honest, AR is not the answer whatsoever. I mean,
he's gonna be the worst first round pick ever, possibly. He's right up there with Ryan Leaf and Jamarcus Russell.
He's the definition of a guy who left college too early. It's as simple as that. He wasn't ready, and he was drafted way too early. And I get it. The Colts needed a quarterback, and they saw the potential in this guy, and they reached for him. But it was a massive reach. I mean, so far in his career, I mean, his rookie season, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 rushing touchdowns, have 2 fumbles, 59.5% of his passes completed. He only played in 4 games, but when he played more than more games than his rookie year, it just got worse for him. Only had 1,800 passing yards when he played. Like I mentioned, 8 touchdowns, 12 picks, 7 fumbles, which was a big concern. Even though he did have 6 rushing touchdowns, but still, that's 19 turnovers committed on his own in 11 games.
Not good.
No bueno. And I get it. And Daniel Jones isn't much better in the turnover department. He really isn't. But, when healthy, these past few years hasn't turned the ball over that much. Had 6 picks in 23, 7 in 24. Fumble wise, he doesn't fumble. Shockingly, I thought he'd fumble more, but he really doesn't. So at least he's good at protecting the ball compared to AR.
Not anymore. He fumbled a lot.
No, well, Jones, I mean, he had 6 fumbles in his rookie season. Okay, I get it. Had what's it called? He had 3 in 20, 2 in 21, 2 in 22, 1 in 23, and 1 in 24. It's not bad. No, I mean,
no, he fumbled a lot more than that.
I don't know. Okay, maybe. No, actually, no. Those are fumbles in general. He didn't act in the past couple seasons. He hasn't lost a fumble.
Yeah, because I remember early on in Daniel Jones' career, fumbles were a major issue.
Oh yeah. He had 6 in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when it was bad. He had 3 in his 2020 and 2 in 21 and 2 in 22. So I get what you're saying, but he's
He had 19 in 2019. 19 in 2019, 10 in 2020, 7 in 2021, 6 in 2022, and then 4 the past 2 seasons.
Fumbles.
It says both lost and recovered. So if you combine all his fumbles, 19. I don't know how many. I bet you 6 that went for losses, but he's fumbled 19 times in his rookie year.
So somebody's lying. Either
I
your
was saying,
sources,
I swear to God, Daniel Jones fumbled way more than that.
Either your sources lying or ESPN's lying.
I'm on Pro Football Reference.
Dang it!
How many fumbles did Daniel?
I like how we're debating fumbles of Daniel Jones.
Google. StatMuse. 18 is rookie year. 11, 7, 6, 4, 4. StatMuse.
Oh no, 18 turnovers in rookie season.
11 loss. 11 fumbles.
He did not fumble 11 times in 19.
He did.
What?
It's right here. 11 loss though. He fumbled the ball 11 times. He lost.
You sure it's not the Giants that fumbled 11 times?
It says Daniel Jones fumbled 18 times his rookie season.
I swear.
Somebody's share screen.
Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying.
There we go.
I'm checking right now. All right, we're gonna change our background real quick here to take a look.
Daniel Jones fumbled 18 times his rookie season in 2019.
I don't dang well he didn't fumble. I think it's not. I think I ain't gonna lie. I think StatMuse is lying. I think they're counting fumbles.
StatMuse backs up Pro Football Reference too.
No, that's no. There's no way.
Yeah, fumbles were a big problem.
Okay, well, no way ESPN just fumbled that completely. Okay, well, anyways, look, fumbles were an issue early in his career. At no matter how you put it, no matter what numbers you look at, whether from StatMuse, ESPN, turnovers are bad for Jones in the rookie season, but he's done a good job bringing those numbers down. I think it's fair to say that is the case. And like you mentioned, my boy has made the playoffs before in 22. He will.
Oh, wait. I figured it out. I think I have figured it out. I think they're doing fumbles by when he fumbled running the ball. They're not counting his fumbles when he was sacked. I think that's where the 6 is coming from.
You know what? That probably does make sense.
Yep. Because it says it's under rushing. Yeah, that would make sense.
That makes sense. My apologies, my friend.
Well, no, you're good. I was just trying to figure this out. Why?
So fumbles were a big issue in 29's rookie season. No, but overall, he's done a good job. Bringing those numbers down, for sure. Better than AR, no doubt about it. And Jones more success compared to the former Florida product. And he's more of a leader. Look, he's a guy that'll put his head down and work. He'll say the right things. Not to say AR hasn't said the right things, unless I'm forgetting something. But Jones as usually always said the right things.
I don't think AR has said anything is the problem.
Good, maybe because he doesn't deserve to be interviewed in the first place.
Yeah.
No, but Jones, like he says the right things. He's a good teammate. And that's one thing the Giants miss, if anything, about him is just him being a good teammate overall. His play not so much, obviously.
His personality fit a quarterback very. It was Eli Manning's personality is what he had.
He was able to handle the New York media.
Yes.
He just couldn't back it up with this play. But he's a new team in Indianapolis. He has Shane Steichen as his head coach. And Steichen, he was an offensive guru, hasn't really done that so far since his time here as the head coach in Indianapolis. But maybe, look, all you need is a second chance sometimes. And I think Jones is obviously going to get that here with the Colts. And I don't know. I have a good feeling he'll find success with this team. I'm not just saying that just to be funny or anything like that. I really do believe just with the team he has around him now and just a new environment. Sometimes all you need is a breath of fresh air. And I think he has that here with this new team. So I believe in him. I think the Colts will obviously deal with a lot of, frustration with him at times, but I do think there'll be more good moments than bad with Jones. So to me, Jones should be the QB1, and I expect him to be so when week 1 comes around. And then Richardson will definitely have to earn his spot back, especially if Riley Leonard plays well in the preseason. I think a lot of people will be like, maybe trade AR. Who knows?
Yeah, but what value do you have for AR right now?
That's true.
Like, what is a team realistically going to give up for AR?
I
I
don't
really don't think you get much.
I don't know at this time how exactly healthy he is, but I'm playing him in the preseason. Richardson. I'm playing all the quarterbacks. We have nothing to lose. I'm playing all the quarterbacks in the
Oh, you have
preseason.
to. You have you have an open competition. You got to play everybody.
I play all. Yeah, play all of them. All right. We head from Indianapolis to Jacksonville, Florida, where the Jaguars exist.
They're just there.
Yeah, they were literally just there last year. They were bad. 4-13. After finishing 9-8 in both 22 and 23, they regressed in a massive way last season. They were officially eliminated from playoff contention actually after week 13, which is surprising considering their record, finishing as it was. But they were bad on both offense and defense. Like, oof. 18.6 points per game was 26th in the league last year. They finished 25th in yards per game. On defense, oh my gosh, they were 31st overall in yards per game allowed. What's it called? They allowed 257 yards per game through the air, which was worst also in the NFL. The rushing game wasn't that much better. Points per game, yeah, it was just bad. Oh, and last year, what I think was the first year for defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen. This unit gave up over 400 yards in 9 games. Dog water. That's all I'm going to say. Was dead last in opponent passer rating with 101.8, which means that when quarterbacks threw against Jacksonville, they were really good. They only had 6 turnovers and 6 interceptions and 9 turnovers overall as a unit, which was the fewest in franchise history. Yeah, not good. Trevor Lawrence went down after 10 games, was 2-8 as a starter. Had to leave or was out for the season because of an AC joint sprain and also a concussion that he suffered last year as well. So it was a bad season for him, but just not fun to not if you're, you know what? I'm gonna just keep it short. Watching Jacksonville, you suffered just like us Giants fans. It was not, yeah. But at least you have Brian Thomas. He's gonna be a stud for years to come. And the offensive line wasn't that bad either. At least they allowed the 8th best sack rate, 5.54%. So in the offseason, what do? Oh, they clean house, and I mean they clean house. Doug Peterson gone. GM Trent Baalke gone. The offensive corner. You know what his name is?
They weren't on board with the GM at first. That GM stayed to the last second till Liam Cohen got it there.
Oh, Baalke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, was Cohen hired? No. Wait.
The only reason Cohen went to Jacksonville was because they fired the GM. He wasn't going to go there with the GM.
Right. But did they hire Gladstone first, or was it Cohen first?
I think it was Cohen first, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
I could be wrong. I don't remember.
Well,
but I remember that was the big sticking point. Was the GM was originally going to stay, and Cohen said, "I'm not going there unless you fire him." And then
that was a weird situation, wasn't it? Now that I remember, because he wasn't going to stay in Tampa, and Tampa had a deal waiting for him, and they called him, and then he didn't pick up the phone.
Yep.
Like it was the ghost. He ghosted the heck out of him. I remember that. No, but I don't blame him. I mean, hey.
I don't blame Liam Cohen at all. If you saw the way that GM built that team, like I would not go anywhere near that situation.
No. And obviously Tampa had a better situation, but he was going to be a coordinator there, and if a head coaching spot opens up for you, you're going to take it by the horns and go from there. So he was hired. They had a new GM who I really love, and I'll talk about why in just a bit. And James Gladstone, 34 years old, so one of, if not the youngest GM in the NFL at this time. They also hired new coordinators on both sides of the ball. Thank God. Offensive coordinator Grant Udinsky and defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile. So all 4 guys that they hired for their respective roles, all very young in terms of just coaching in general. So honestly, if I'm Jacksonville, I'm happy, because shoot, after what I saw from my defensive coordinator last year, I'm firing him immediately. So. Mm-hmm. But overall, in the offseason, they signed quarterback Jordan Lewis. Safety Eric Murray, center Robert Hainsey, offensive guard Patrick McCarty, and receiver Diamia Brown, just to name a few guys that stood out to me. Unfortunately, they did lose Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram, a few guys that departed from that offense, and they were key to the success of that offense. But in the draft, man, they impressed me. They're one of the teams that impressed me the most. And shout out to James Gladstone to have the balls to be maybe only a couple months into your job and have the balls to trade up from 5 to 2, and to get a guy like Travis Hunter. Hey, major props in the world to you.
That's trying to change the thing around Jacksonville. Like, for years, it's kind of been the joke that Jacksonville's like the forgotten team of the NFL because they play in Jacksonville, Florida. They've kind of been horrific for a while. This is a culture-changing move to go get a guy like Travis Hunter and trade up for him. That's why they're going to do everything in their power to make him that two-way player. Yeah,
because he's someone that's going to bring in numbers, bring in fans, and they can promote him, be like, hey, this is a guy that's you should come watch because he's going to do something that no NFL player has done.
His name alone sells tickets, which I think is what they wanted from Trevor Lawrence. But when Lawrence struggled, it didn't work out.
He's been the definition of just complete average. And for a first overall pick, that is not good.
You take away his college career, and just look at NFL numbers. It's the exact same as Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And he doesn't get criticized for it yet. Jones does.
He does. So. No, because he doesn't get criticized because of his college career. If Daniel Jones would have had the career that Trevor Lawrence had, even if Daniel Jones had gone to 2 national championships, he's not talked about as a reach at 6.
But because he went to Duke and was just
went to Duke, was a second round pick, went in the top 10 over Dwayne Haskins. It was a story.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence was, seen completely as different. This generational talent and has lived up to the hype. But he's living off the never losing a game before the NFL.
Yeah. So, which irritates me because he should receive more criticism, but I digress.
Oh, he should. 100% should.
No. So, look, hey, he's the quarterback now. We'll see how long that lasts. They're obviously not going to give up on him unless he regresses in a major way.
Well, he's locked up for that long-term deal. So
that's right. I did forget about that. Yeah, he's there. He's there for the long run. So they're stuck with him whether they like it or not. Yeah. But they got him some weapons though. Travis Hunter's obviously was their first round pick. We'll be playing both receiver and corner, and we'll get to that burning question in just a bit. But he was drafted in the first round. They didn't draft again until round 3 when they took cornerback Caleb Ransaw, a cornerback from Tulane. They also got offensive lineman Wyatt Millum from West Virginia, running back Brashol Tutin from Virginia Tech. Jack Kaiser, the linebacker from Notre Dame, went in round 4 as well. Then they drafted in round 6 Jalen McLeod, a linebacker from Auburn, Rayon Lane III, and safety from Navy. Center Jonah Monheim from USC, and they rounded up the draft by taking running back LaQuint Allen from Syracuse. So, all right. So, look, Hunter being a two-way player as he is, really glad he's doing so. I'm glad that Jacksonville's embracing that. There was a bit of a fear that whoever would take him would kind of force him to play one position, but he made it clear, Hunter did, that if an NFL team's going to take him, they're going to play him both ways. And Jacksonville was like, I bet we will do so. We promise. However, and just focus on his rookie season, because we know as he develops, he's going to be an outstanding player on both sides of the ball. But just in this year alone, in year 1, do you expect him to succeed more at receiver this year or at corner?
I think he's going to succeed more as a corner in this league. I know. See, that's tough.
Just in year 1, remember, just in year 1.
Yeah, year 1. I think he's going to do better as a wide receiver. Maybe in the long term it's corner, but I think for right now it's wide receiver because he's got the the athleticism that will, open up boards. He can burn guys, use it to his ability. And plus, as good as Travis Hunter is on a receiver, Brian Thomas is wide receiver number 1, regardless. So your quarterback 1 is going to be on Brian Thomas. That means that Hunter will have the more favorable matchups, be on kind of the lesser corner in the game. He can, if he uses athleticism correctly, he can take advantage of that and use it to his advantage.
Yeah, Hunter is a shifty guy, man. He's a guy that will make defenders miss easily.
Especially lower level defenders like the ones he goes up against.
Oh,
but think about it. If the Jaguars play the Giants tomorrow, it's going to be Hunter on Deontay Banks.
Hey, Banks hasn't been that bad. He's been
Banks
getting
is
better.
not bad, but like I don't think he can keep up with Hunter.
Oh no, Hunter's just way too shifty, way too. He's more athletic than him, no doubt about it. But yeah, I agree. Just to piggyback off of you, I also have him succeeding at receiver as well. It was reported that they listed him as a starting wide receiver and a backup cornerback at this point in time on the depth chart. So, and honestly, from what we've when I looked into it a little bit more, I should say, he's been primarily used in offense during the offseason program, and then they're gradually allowing him to play more on defense as he continues to learn the system. But if you think about this, the Jaguars offense could use some more juice. Like, yes, Brian Thomas is great. Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby are great.
Well, Tank's probably going to jump Etienne this year.
That is right.
There's a report that Bigsby is going to be the center point of the offense.
Yeah, I heard that Etienne's is never going to see the field on the goal line.
Yeah, no. Well, sure. The problem is if they have Tank behind them, and then they drafted somebody running back. Who?
Brishal Tootin from
him. He's report. So there's a chance that Etienne's traded before camp even ends or gets cut. Like, I don't know about cut, but I definitely could see trade, especially if Tank Bigsby is going to be how big they are. They could get some good value for Etienne.
I kind of always thought they drafted Etienne just to like have that college connection with Lawrence, which I love. But
it was an Urban Meyer pick.
Yeah. There you go. Because he was trying like, oh my god, pairing up these two college teammates again, like lead success to success, blah blah blah.
That was the guy Urban Meyer picked to fit his offense. Because you remember, James Robinson was the running back in Jacksonville before.
I remember him.
Put up a really good season, and they just never been able to catch on again. But I bet you if they don't draft Etienne in the first round that year, I don't think Robinson is still there, but I think he's a much better career than he currently has.
Definitely a big fall off for Etienne from his first two seasons compared to last year, for sure. And Bigsby kind of took advantage of that. Because, Etienne over 1,000 yards rushing in both his rookie season and sophomore season, but last year just 558 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He wasn't hurt. He missed 2 games, but still, like when he was on the field, he just wasn't productive whatsoever. No. So, hey, Bigsby, good for him. But look, overall, for when it comes to it just proves my point. They could use some more juice in that offense. And I think Travis Hunter will provide that, whether it's on jet sweeps or just short routes, deep plays down the field. He's a guy that's going to produce an offense here in year one. And then, I guess if I could honestly sum this point up, offense is going to be a bit easier for him to learn than defense because different coverages and all that stuff. Offense, you just run your route. It's really as simple as that. Let's not make it harder than it seems.
NFL and college defenses are just miles different.
Oh man,
especially when you're playing in like the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. And it's and what he's doing right now is it's already difficult as it is, especially with like conditioning and all those things and stuff like that. Not to say he has had conditioning issues before, but still, you want to kind of keep your guy as healthy and fresh as possible. Yep. And so, you know what? Same as you. I think he's going to succeed at receiver here in year one. But as he continues in his career, I think and continues to learn more about, being in a NFL defense and reading, offensive plays and whatnot, he's going to have success as well at the cornerback position.
Well, here's the big question I have is another one you can do with him. Is he going to fulfill the two-way player? Is he going to be the first two-way player in the league? And do it successfully?
Yes, that's I like you at that point because we've seen two-way players before. Like it's been quite some time since we've seen it.
World War II was a really hot button issue.
Yeah.
Those times.
Oh, for sure. No, but I do think yes, he'll do it successfully. I think he can, and look, we obviously saw it in Colorado, and he played so many snaps on both
Mhm.
sides of the ball. Like, we rarely saw him on the bench unless it was for injury reasons or whatever the case may be. I think he can do so in the NFL. I believe in the young man. He's proved it. He's a great guy, and I think Jacksonville, like I mentioned earlier, they embraced it, and they're going to be smart with him. We've seen it so far in the offseason being smart, but they also understand that, hey, we took you because we want you to
We
play
gave
both
up a lot for
sides.
you.
We gave up a lot for you. We believe in you. We know you can do it, but we're gonna make sure we do it the right way. And I think because Jacksonville is handling it the right way, that's why he's gonna have success doing so. So I hope you believe the same for him
I
as well.
I do, but I think it also depends on your definition of success. Like, if you
Mm,
think he's going to be as impactful as he was at Colorado, I think you're underestimating how hard the NFL is. I think for Travis Hunter to be a successful two-way player, he has to be good in one area and average in another.
okay.
He's got to be like, like a good wide receiver too and a decent quarterback. He doesn't have to excel at both to be successful like he did in
Yeah.
college. And I don't think he can excel at both because I just think it's too hard.
If I had to be more specific, I would go. I expect him to be a CB1 and a receiver 2 when everything is said and done,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
good
would
at both.
expect like a receiver one, CB two kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So great question there. I like that.
hmm
But yeah, we'll see what happens here in Europe for Mr. Hunter. Um, good offseason for him so far. Obviously, being drafted into the NFL, getting married to his longtime sweetheart. So yeah,
Shout out.
congrats, shout out to Hunter,
It
man.
was a good summer. It was a good
Good,
summer.
good summer for him, and I
Like when
hope.
they're like, what'd you do this summer? Well, let me tell you about Travis Hunter summer. This
Good
was,
vibes,
like
man.
we hear like white boy summer, white girl summer, all that kind of stuff. This was
Oh
Travis
yeah,
Hunter
this is
summer. It's
Travis
what that
Hunter.
was.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, dude. And he's a great guy. He's very happy, very energetic, great guy. Off the field as well. He really is a guy who just kind of tries to stay out of the spotlight as much as possible, and he'll be able to do
Which is
so in
perfect to
Jacksonville.
have because
Yeah,
he could be like him playing both ways. You could have that like cockiness and swagger to him, especially coming from Deion Sanders. Like you don't think Deion told him a few things,
a
but
little bit.
but the fact that he's still able to remain humble and stuff just shows you, okay, this is a good kid. This is not someone that's going to get in trouble. Now,
No,
how much trouble can you really get into Jacksonville, Florida? I do not know.
you don't know. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
But look,
I don't think the club scene in Jacksonville is anything to write home about. I could be wrong, and if there's a Jacksonville club out there, let us know in the comments if
yeah,
you guys got good things going on. But
and it better be a good
I
club
don't
too.
think you're the Florida team we should worry about when it comes to NFL players clubbing, if you know what I mean.
And look, I don't think we have anything to worry about with Hunter, man. He loves to
No,
fish, loves to play video games, spend time with his girl. I think he's gonna be okay. No off the field issues
he's
that
just a
we should
dude. He's a
expect.
dude that likes to chill.
Just a dude that loves playing football, and that's what we love to see. So excited to see him play and all those things. All right, finally, the Tennessee freaking Titans, a team that I was high on last year and looked foolish doing so. Finished 3-4. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, Will
I
Levis
forgot
gonna
about that. Yeah, he was shocked I picked him to go like 4-12.
dude. Yeah, it was not. I don't know
Like, this
what
team's gonna suck.
I don't know what I even saw, bro. Like I'm gonna be dead honest. I thought like new coach with Brian Callahan. Will Levis is gonna sling it, like all these good things, and well, they made me look foolish. Finished 3-14 on the year last year. Last place in the AFC South, of course. My apologies. They finished with the fewest wins since 2015, the most losses since 2014. And this was again their first year under Mr. Callahan.
Great
Six
start.
yeah, six
Great
game
first
losing
impression, bud.
6 game losing streak to close out the season. 1-7 at home, 2-7 on the road. Yeah, once again, an offense that just wasn't good. Pollard was great. Calvin Ridley was great. Will Levis, not so much. 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Was known for his meme-worthy plays during the first 4 weeks of the season, where it seemed like every game during the opening the opening month was just him being on social media for like throwing boneheaded picks or fumbling the ball, whatever the case may be. He was bad, but the O-line was bad as well. So he wasn't all to blame. They allowed 52 sacks on the season. Eesh, no bueno. Defense wasn't much better though. Allowed 3,000 plus passing yards, which is second worst in the NFL, and also was seventh worst in rushing yards allowed per game. Was also second worst in points per game allowed, 27.1. No bueno. But hey, Devondre Sweat, promising rookie, and of course they had Jeffrey Simmons doing his thing. Regressed a little bit last year, but he's still one of the best D tackles in the league. So what did they do this offseason? Well, I tell you, they fired the GM, Ron Carthon, and they hired Mike Borgonzi to replace him. They signed left tackle Dan Moore Jr., who was the best guy on the market. Not to say that he's one of the best in the league. He was one of the best on the market. Two different things. 4 years, $82 million with $50 million guarantee. They also added Kevin Zeitler. We know him, former Giant. Should have never let him go.
But Baltimore for like a fourth, right?
I believe so. Well,
he was part of. He was part of the. Did we trade Olivier Verdon for him?
Oh,
because he was a part of the big Odell trade. It was like Odell, Olivier Verdon for like Kevin Zeitler, Jabril Peppers, and a bunch of draft picks.
I think he just left in free agency. No, he was released.
And released?
Yeah.
Who did we trade to Baltimore?
For what?
We traded a guard for Baltimore in like 2022.
We traded a guard to Baltimore, or
yeah, I thought the guard was Kevin Zeitler.
Oh, you're saying how we got Zeitler?
Yeah, we traded. Yeah, I thought we traded for him for Olivier Verdon, and then I thought then his career ended when we traded into Baltimore.
Dude, actually, I have no idea how he got there.
Hang on, I'm looking up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we released Zeitler and he signed with the Ravens.
Oh,
okay.
It was a trade with the Browns.
Yeah,
okay, that's what threw me off. I was like, the Ravens. Yeah. So we sent Vern. Yeah, it was part of a larger deal that I'm also involved with.
Yes.
We don't talk about that Odell trade, that PTSD. Anyways. Yeah, so
Pete Carroll is now wrestling a lineman right now at camp. Just if anyone wants an update on Raiders camp.
I think I got the same thing. No, not yet. I will see when I go on Twitter though. So so Tyler, big solid interior upgrade for them for sure. They also added Tyler Lockett at a receiver, which is a good move. Cody Barton at linebacker, safety Xavier Woods. Yes, they lost quarterback Chidobe Awuzie and their leading pass rusher last year and Harold Landry III because of cap issues. They also lost Nick Westbrook-Akine, Tyler Boyd for at receiver. They also let go in free agency. But overall, I love the moves they made in free agency. And the draft they're probably one of my favorite drafts from this year as well. That doesn't get talked about too much. Cam Ward obviously going number one, but their edge rusher Olu Oladejo, the product from UCLA, he's good. They chose him in round 2. Round 3, they took Kevin Winston Jr., the safety from Penn State, in round 3. He's a young raw guy, but when he has a lot of talent, and I really hope he develops into a star with the Titans because he has potential to do so. Round 4, they took receiver Chirme Dike from Florida, the tight end from Texas, Gunnar Helm, and Alec Ayamanor, the receiver from Stanford. And round 5, they took Jackson Slater, the guard from Sacramento State. Woohoo! Round 6, they also chose Marcus Harris, the corner from California, and Kalen Mullings, the running back from Michigan, to round out their draft. So for the Titans, I asked one of my best friend, actually, Josh, shout out to him. I want to get his thoughts on the Titans, and of course he has some optimism, but he is realistic as well. But he wants to know, and I don't know why it says is the solution at quarterback even on the roster, because that was the Browns question from last year. So I apologize.
Which, by the way, it's not. It's the Browns signed Tyler Huntley yesterday.
Yes. So now they have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. So for those of you watching, my apologies for the or for my error, basically, for the burning question. But the burning question for the Titans is, what is the Titans' identity for 2025?
So I this is a hard one but I
Yes.
think it's one word: pesky.
Okay.
I think
Pesky.
this is going to be a team that is in a lot of games, and it's not the record won't define how good they are. I think
Okay.
I like this offense. Cam Ward, there's going to be growing pains, so get me wrong. But what we saw at Miami with Cam Ward is he's a guy that's not afraid to be aggressive with the football. He's a guy that likes to push the ball downfield. And when you have a receiver core that have guys like Tyler Boyd and Calvin Ridley, that's going to lead to receptions and big games and big plays, and ultimately a lot more scoring. Like we're in the belly up bowl draft is going on right now. I picked up Calvin Ridley because I'm like, at the very least, he's a good flex player because of those big play opportunities he's going to have. So I think the offense is good enough to keep them in games. I don't think the defense is where it needs to be, especially when it comes to their run defense, which gave up 133 yards per game last season. I think this is a team's going to lose a lot of one-score games, but it's gonna be like they're probably going to go like, 6-11, 7-10, but it's a lot better than the record says they are. And like the record of one-score games is like 2-6 or 1-7, like something crazy.
They're going to be a competitive unit.
Yeah.
I think that's easier said than done, of course, but they're going to be competitive, no doubt about it. And I think for me, it's so we've seen in the past, when they were coached under Mike Vrabel, like they were this run heavy defensive team, and then that led to success. I mean, they made the playoffs a few times, and I think they made
They were in
the
the championship game.
yeah,
They had a 14-0 lead in the first quarter.
and then the Chiefs just.
There was a point in the AFC Championship game where we were legit sitting there like, is the Titans going to make the Super Bowl this year?
Super Bowl out of all teams, the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah. My guy was hyped. Josh, he was definitely excited during that time. He misses those days, and all Titans fans
As
do.
anyone would.
Yeah, because that was their one chance, and it's been some time since they've reached that point. No, but with the new hires they brought in with Borgonzi, and then of course this is Callahan's second year as the head coach. It's definitely a culture change for sure. It's we're going from a run first team to a more pass oriented, quote unquote modern offense,
Yeah.
if you will, because no team really is known for just pounding the rock. And
Well, the
well, like,
Ravens are. And the
yeah,
Eagles.
yeah, true. But they have a passing game. They have a
Right.
passing game that works.
Yeah.
I don't think Tennessee has really had that, honestly, because
Well, they had A.J. Brown back in
they
those days.
had AJ Brown. That's the thing. They had AJ Brown. But I think it's gonna be more pass first when it comes to this offense, and I like that. Defensively, they're gonna be a fast, they're trying to be a big and fast defense on the edge, and they kind of addressed that with Oladejo on the outside, and I think it's going to be him and Draymond Jones, who was a pretty good edge rusher in Seattle. I think signing those two guys there kind of makes it clear that hey, we really want to get pressure on the outside. And I know Landry was good, but I wasn't really outstanding by any means.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. Look, Cam Ward drafting him. It's a full reset at the most important position in football, which is quarterback. And that he's going to be obviously the guy that's going to be anchoring this new offense that's going to be hopefully more explosive through the air. And they added protection for him. Like I mentioned, Dan Moore, Zietler. They're moving J.C. Latham finally from left tackle to his true position at right tackle, which is going to be good for him. They added Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, Alec Yemenor, Jameer Dike, Gunnar Helm. They already had Calvin Ridley already. They have Xavier Restrepo, who is going to no doubt make the roster barring injuries. He was a UDFA, but he was obviously Ward's teammate back in Miami. But yeah, look, the goal for them is speed and versatility on the offensive side of the ball. It's as simple as that. And plus, you add in the running game with Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, who can also contribute in the receiving game. Both of those guys can. I think this Titans team is their identity is going to be a more explosive passing offense, and Ward's going to be able to sling it because we saw what he can do in Miami. I think he's going to be able to do the same thing here with the Titans. So, yeah, honestly, more if I guess if I could describe it in one word, it's explosive. That's their identity for this year, and hopefully I'm right this time because I jinxed them last year. But I really do hope I'm right. But yeah, that's what I have for the Titans. I hope whatever I said makes sense.
No, yeah.
I know I kind of felt off saying what I was talking about, but I don't know. I'm excited for the Titans team. I don't know. It's hard to put the right words in, but I'm excited to see what they can do. With the guys they have. It's a young, semi-young team that they have there, but a lot of promising guys for sure. All right, record predictions.
So I'm going to go with the Texans finishing at 11-6 and winning the division. I have the Jaguars at 8-9. I have the Titans at 6-11 and the Colts at 3-14.
Sheesh. Okay. Yeah, Houston repeats 9-8. Titans, I'm gonna go 7-10. I'm sorry. I'm lost between who I had for third. Was it Indy? No, Jacksonville 6-11, Indy 4-13. That's what it was. I had it written down, but I was like, I didn't put the teams down.
Yeah.
I was like, what did I put? What did I put? I mean, hey, either way, it could be flipped. Honestly,
oh yeah,
could. Shoot, but no, I love my boy Jones, but I don't. Yeah, look, like you mentioned, we saw 6 years of him. I don't think he's gonna just surprisingly lead Indy. He's gonna have more success, but that doesn't mean they'll lead to wins.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? I have a better way of putting it. I'm setting the bar low.
There you go.
That way, when they pass it, that way, I'd rather be wrong and then see DJ succeed. That's what I meant to say. And that, my friends, will do it for the AFC South. Any other news? Anything you want to bring up real quick in terms of the South or anything like that, my friend?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I mean, South in general, the SEC documentary on Netflix coming up.
Oh, wait, about what?
It's coming out today. There's like a Hard Knocks kind of, not Hard Knocks, like a quarterback kind of thing about the SEC. Documentary series on Netflix comes out today.
Oh, about like what it feels like to be in the SEC.
Yeah, he's gonna go over last year, kind of do. It's basically quarterback or receiver, but like SEC.
Nice. I'm gonna watch that for sure. That and then I got Hard Knocks comes out tonight.
Yes, Hard Knocks comes out tonight too. Yep.
The Buffalo Bills. Yes, sir. Thank God it's not us.
Over under Haley Seinfeld appearances. I think we'll get one.
Yeah, give me appearances, huh? Over. Yeah, I'm gonna go over 1.5.
Yeah.
I
think there'll be one because Josh Allen's gonna be one of the stars of the show. And there'll be one about his off day, and Haley will be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. God, that's a great couple. That's a power couple right there. Yeah, she's a star in the movie industry, and of course,
Sinners is an unbelievable movie. I finally got around to watch that a couple weeks ago.
Sir. It was
incredible
good,
movie.
Yes, sir, it was. Oh, the soundtrack was great. The characters were great. I loved it for sure.
Although the ending is hysterical to me. The post credit scene or whatever it was.
Post credit scene. Oh no!
When the kid's a lot older.
Oh yes.
I sat there if you just think about that scene in a vacuum, it's hysterical.
That is something I'm gonna have to watch again to kind of try to see what you're referring to because hysterical in what way? If you could,
can I spoil it?
It's been out for what, a month, 2 months, 3 months?
I don't know. When did Sinners come out?
When did it come out? It came out on HBO Max.
April 18th. So you've had time.
Okay.
So the end scene is the kid is now in a 73-year-old adult. He's had a successful music career, and he's playing at a little club in Chicago. And two of the vampires walk in,
That's
and
right.
they just sit there at the bar playing music. And the thought of this 73-year-old man just sitting next to two demons playing the guitar like nothing happens. Like, does no one see the absurdity of this whole situation? And like, he's just so casual about it.
Like, they could have tried to kill him, like dead, like
Yeah.
on the spot.
And they go like, we have all your records and all like your albums. Like, so these two like vampires just like had a hobby of like, man, like, I know we're vampires who want to eat people and stuff, but remember when we weren't vampires and that kid that played good music? Dude's got a record deal. We got to go, like, they're going to all his concerts and stuff. That's why I meant it's hysterical. When you think of it like that,
I got you.
these vampires, like, hang on a second. Hang on. Jimmy from back in the day just released a new album. We can't eat this guy. We got to go wait on the midnight line for the new album.
Well, then again, didn't they promise each other? Or
No, yes, he promised he wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And all that. It is just very funny when you think about it. Like, these vampires are like avid music
Meant to
lovers of this
kill.
one guy.
Yeah.
they were close to before they switched.
I remember, yeah, they walked in casually, and I was like, at the time,
Yeah, they were just like, they're in 90s clothes.
yeah, and I was just like, oh, he's dead for sure. But then,
No, they just
later,
sat
yeah.
there like, I like the old stuff. All right, well,
Let's play it.
All right, let's go.
One of the best movies of all.
Just chilling,
of
you know,
all time.
just sitting there chilling. We think about it like that. It's funny.
No, I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying. But no, one of the best movies of all time, no doubt about it. Love Sinners, man.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that high, but definitely the best movie of the 2020s.
Bet, yep, you know, yeah.
If you're going all time, like there's a lot of movies it's going up against.
Hey, numbers wise, it is. So
yeah, numbers wise, but that's a little different.
Yeah, true. But alrighty, my friend, that'll do it for the AFC South. Next week, the AFC West, which consists of the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. I'm excited for 3 of those teams. Not one of them. Hopefully they don't make it again. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a hater, but bro, give me a different team, please.
It's fatigue. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. But yeah, and then it's gonna be the AFC West, and then we're gonna go NFC West, NFC South, NFC North, and then our boys in the NFC East. So alrighty. But on Thursday, we'll be back at it, of course. Catching up on headlines from Giants training camp. And as well as the other headlines around the NFL. And of course, hopefully by Thursday, the Mets turn things around and Brian is in bed.
I just want consistency. Is that so much to ask for?
Like,
just go over the next 20 games. Just go 14-6. That's what I want. That's what I want. 14-6 over the next 20.
Heck yeah. That's not too much to ask, I tell you. But that'll do it. You can follow me at Nathan_New124. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016 on social media. And you can follow our podcast page at 3rd and 10 Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and at 3rd and 10 Podcast on the TikTok. We love the attention and the likes and comments and all those things on our TikTok. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for your guys' support. Continue to follow us on there as we continue to grow our page on that app. And shout out to SeatGeek. Use the code BellyUpSports for $20 off your first purchase. And you can find me, Brian, and all of our amazing articles and also the other podcasts and writers that exist on the network at bellyupsports.com. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to us. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.